Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's take a look at today's lesson objective. So today we will use area models, place value charts, and the number line to compare decimal numbers and record comparisons using the less than, greater than, and equal to symbols. Okay, so let's first make a comparison statement using area models. So over here I have some area models, okay? And I want to compare 1500s to 5100s. So I went ahead and I made two area models. This one is for 1500s and this one is for 5100s. So if we look at them, I can see that I have more pieces shaded in for 5100s. So I can see that 5100s is bigger than 1500s, right? So if I were to write a comparison statement, I could write 1500s is less than 5100s. Or I can also say 5100s is greater than 1500s. Okay. All right. Now, what about if we make a comparison statement using number lines? So let's compare 4.5 and 4.38, 4 and 5 tenths, and 4 and 38 hundredths using a number line. So let's first go ahead and do 4.5. So I'm going to start at 4, and I need to go to 0.5 or 5 tenths. So each of my whole number intervals are separated into 10 equal pieces. So each of these tick marks are tenths. So I'm going to go over to 5 tenths. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So over here is 4.5. Okay, now let's go ahead and compare this to 4.38. Okay, so I'm going to start at 4 again. And I'm going to go to 4 and 3 tenths. So I have 1, 2, 3. And I can't really go to 4 tenths because 4 and 38 tenths or hundredths is not quite to 4 and 40 hundredths. So we're just going to go right below it, like right here. So now this gives me, this is where 4 and 38 hundredths goes. So I can go ahead and see, I can compare that 4.38 or 4 and 38 hundredths is less than 4 and 5 tenths. So if I make a comparison statement, 4 and 38 hundredths is less than 4 and 5 tenths. I can also say 4 and 5 tenths is greater than 4 and 38 hundredths. Okay. All right. Now let's go ahead and compare 5.2 and 5.12 using a place value chart. So I have my place value chart here, and I'm going to go ahead and place all of my digits in their appropriate place value. So I have for 5.2 or 5 and 2 tenths, I have 5 ones and 2 tenths. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and look at 5.12. So I have 5 ones, 1 tenth, and 2 hundredths. So when I'm using a place value chart and I am comparing numbers, I'm going to start with the biggest place value and go down to the smallest place value to figure out which number is larger. So let's look at tenths. Well, I don't have any tens for either of my numbers, so that doesn't help me. So let's go to the ones. So I have 5 ones and 5 ones. Those are equal, so that doesn't really help me either. So let's go to our tenths and see if that helps us. So for 5.2, I have 2 tenths, and then 5.12, I have 1 tenth. So 2 tenths is larger than 1 tenth, which means that 5.2 is greater than 5.12. Okay. Now, although 12 is a bigger number, we're looking at hundreds. If we look at our tenths and I put a 0 in my hundreds place, that means 20 is larger than 12. So 5.2, which is the same as 5.20, is going to be larger than 5.12. So our comparison statement is 5.2 is greater than 5.12, or I can say 5.12 or 5 and 12 hundredths is less than 5.2 or 5 and 2 tenths. All right, now let's go to our last problem of the day. So I'm going to compare 13.2 and 13.20 using a place value chart. So let's first start with 13.2. So I have 110, 3 ones, and 2 tenths. And then if I look at 5.20, I have 110, 3 ones, 2 tenths, and 0 hundredths. All right, so let's start with our largest place value, which is our tens. So if I look at my tens, I have 110 and 110. So those are both the same, so that doesn't help me. So now let's go to my ones. I have 3 ones and 3 ones. Again, those are the same, so that doesn't help me either. Let's go to my tenths. I have 2 tenths and 2 tenths. Again, those are equal, so that's not gonna help me figure out which one's larger and which one's less. Let's go to my hundredths. So at 13.2, I don't have any hundredths. It's blank, right? So if I don't have anything there, that's the same as saying 0. So if I have 13.20, we have 0 and 0, so those are the same. So I can actually say that 13.2 is equal to 13.20. They're the same. They represent the same amount. They are the same number. So they're equal. All right, let's take a quick review of today's lesson objective. So today we used area models, place value charts, and the number line to compare decimal numbers and record comparisons using the less than, greater than, and equal to sign. All right, everybody. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. I hope it was a helpful lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.